Ladies and gentlemen, as per my last video, you know that the IRS just launched an online portal where people who do not file tax returns can enter in their private information and their bank's routing and account numbers so the IRS knows where to deposit their stimulus checks. Intuit, the owner of TurboTax, is operating this portal, and they're collecting, sharing, and processing your private information. There's been recent data breaches where companies that collect and process people's private information at a massive scale, they've exposed all this private information due to lack of adequate security measures. Therefore, I've taken the liberty and time to read through Intuit's free file fillable forms privacy statement. By the way, it is definitively crucial to you and your loved one's safety that you know exactly what these companies are doing with your private information. So I've saved you the effort of reading through the entire document. Watch the whole video, or at least listen to it while you're doing chores or working out so you can make informed decisions. This privacy statement goes into effect January 27th, 2020. Introduction and overview. Intuit leverages technology responsibly to power prosperity around the world, and we believe that everyone has a right to privacy. We also believe in providing transparency on how we collect, process, and share personal information. Scope of this privacy statement. This privacy statement, quote, privacy statement, describes our privacy practices for individuals when we process personal information through the free file fillable form service. Quote, service, close quote, or quote, services, close quote. Please note that the service allows you to share your information with various tax agencies for the purposes of helping you file your taxes. Information shared with tax agencies will be subject to such agencies' privacy policies and practices, which may differ from Intuit's. For details on how such government agencies process your information, please see their privacy notices. Tax preparation information. We understand that your personal information processed for the purposes of preparing a tax return or in connection with the preparation of a tax return collectively, quote, tax preparation information, close quote, is special, except as necessary to provide you with tax preparation services or as authorized by law. We will not disclose your tax preparation information, including to Intuit's affiliates and subsidiaries, unless you consent. We will only use your tax preparation information to provide you with tax preparation services or as authorized by law. Information we collect. Information you give us. The personal information that we receive about you depends on the context of your interactions with the service. Personal information that you provide may also depend upon what services or experiences you use, your location, and applicable law. Creating an account. We collect information when you create an account. Personal information may include your contact information such as your name, address, phone number, and email, usernames and credentials, identification information. We collect your contact information and personal details to verify your identity, including your name, social security number, social insurance number, driver's license numbers, government issued identification details, for example, to help you file your tax return. Support. We may collect personal information if you reach out to us for support or questions regarding your privacy rights. Information about others. Please see the section titled Information Provided by Others below. Information we get when you use the products and services. We may collect certain information about you when you access or use free file fillable forms or the Intuit platform. This may include device information. We may collect information about your device such as internet protocol, quote, IP addresses, log information, error messages, device type, and unique device identifiers. For example, we may collect IP addresses from you as part of our sign-in and security features. Content. We may receive information about you that you input into the service, such as details about your finances, expenses, invoices, financial statements, details of your financial transactions, payroll details, payment details, tax return details, details about your customers or vendors or employees, income and wage information and or investment information, usage information. We may collect usage information such as the pages you viewed, the features you use, your browser type, and details about any links with which you interact. Information about cookies and other technologies. Intuit and our service providers may use commonly used tools such as cookies, web beacons, pixels, local shared objects, and similar technologies. Collectively, quote, cookies, close quote, to collect personal information about you. Quote, cookie information, quote, The service is not currently configured to respond to browsers, quote, do not track, quote, signals because at this time, no formal, quote, do not track, quote, standard has been adopted. Information provided by others. The service is designed to help you file your taxes, including for your family or your household. As a result, others may be able to input information about you. For example, your spouse may input information about your salary and work activity in order to process your family's taxes. You may also be able to input or process information about others. If you input information about others into our platform, you must only do so if you have first received the appropriate rights and permissions to do so, including by getting advance written consent if required by applicable law. At Intuit, we believe that you have rights to information that pertains to you, your household, and or your business. If another person has input or processed information in the service on behalf of you, your family, or your business, you may ask to receive a copy of your information even if you do not have an account with us. To help protect privacy and the security of your information, you may be asked to provide additional information to verify your identity and or ownership rights prior to receiving a copy of the information. For specific instructions on how to request a copy of your information, please see the section, quote, your information rights and choices, quote, below. Other information sources. We may also get information about you from others where permitted by applicable law. For example, we receive information from other users as described in sections, information provided by others. Above, we may get information about you from other users such as your family members, bookkeeper, tax preparer, your spouse, or your head of household, risk management, cybersecurity, and anti-fraud providers. We may receive information from service providers who help us assess risks associated with our offerings, including to help combat fraud, illegal activity, and to help protect your personal information. Government agencies. We receive information from government agencies, including from various tax agencies. How we use personal information. We collect and process information from you only where we have your consent to do so. We need the personal information to provide the service to you, operate our business, and or to comply with legal requirements, including applicable laws and regulations. Personal information is used to operate our business, including but not limited to, provide you with the service, improve the free file fillable form service, communicate with you about the free file fillable form service, provide you with the support and resolve disputes, comply with our legal and regulatory requirements, protect the rights, property, safety, or security of Intuit, our tax agency partners, the Intuit platform, our customers, employees, or others, and prevent fraudulent or illegal activity, to enforce, remedy, or apply our terms of service or other agreements. To provide you with the service, we may process your personal information using automated and manual human methods. Our automated methods include artificial intelligence, AI, and a range of technologies that help our services learn and reason and enhance your experience in the service. We may also use your personal information for other purposes that are compatible with the disclosed purposes if and where this is permitted by applicable law. How we share your information. From time to time, we may need to share your information in the following circumstances. To file your taxes, we will share your information with tax agencies in order to help you file your taxes with your consent. We share your information with third parties when you have requested us to do so. For example, if you requested that we share your data with your household members. With service providers, we share personal information with our service providers who provide services on our behalf for the purposes described in this statement. Service providers are required to implement reasonable privacy and information protection controls to maintain the privacy and security of information provided to them consistent with the privacy practices outlined in this statement. For mergers and acquisitions, if we are involved with a merger, asset sale, financing, liquidation, bankruptcy, or the acquisition of all or part of our business to another company, collectively a, quote, transaction, close quote, we may share your information with that company and its advisors before and after the transaction date. Sales of personal information to third parties. We do not and will not sell personal information to third parties. We do not share personal information with third parties for the business purposes described in this statement, like to prepare your tax return. For legal reasons, we may share your information with third parties for legal reasons, including when we reasonably believe disclosure is required to comply with a subpoena, court order, or other applicable law, regulation, or legal process to protect the rights, property, or safety of Intuit, the service, our customers, or others, to protect or defend against attacks, to enforce, remedy, or apply our terms of service or other agreements, to prevent fraud, cybersecurity, attacks, or illegal activity, with regulatory agencies, including government tax agencies, as necessary to help detect and combat fraud and to protect our customers and users. Your information, rights, and choices. Your rights. Regardless of your location, we believe that all persons should have privacy and information protection rights and choices. Depending on where you live, you may have certain state-specific legal rights with respect to your personal information that we collect and process. If you are an individual in the United States, you can file a request or take action on one of your rights, contacting us at the contact details provided under the section, How to Contact Us. If you are a California resident, you may have the following rights. Verification. In order to protect your personal information from unauthorized access or deletion, we may require you to verify your identity before you can submit a rights request. If you do not have an account with us, or if we suspect that your account has suffered fraudulent or malicious activity, we may ask you to provide additional personal information for verification. If we are subsequently unable to confirm your identity, we may refuse your rights request. Authorized agents. You may use an authorized agent to submit a rights request. If you do so, the agent must present signed written authorization to act on your behalf, and you may also be required to independently verify your identity or your legal authority or ownership of the personal information with us. Access. You may have the right to access the categories of personal information we have collected about you, the sources from which that information was collected, the business or commercial purpose for collecting your personal information, the categories of third parties with whom we share your personal information, the specific pieces of personal information we have collected about you, the categories of personal information we sold about you, the categories of third parties to whom we sold personal information about you, and the categories of personal information we disclosed for a business purpose. Please note that Intuit does not sell personal data. Deletion. You may have the right under certain circumstances to request that we delete the personal information you have provided to us. Non-discrimination. You have the right to be free from discrimination related to your exercise of any of your California privacy rights. Please note that we may claim legal exemptions from certain types of personal information from all or certain parts of the CCPA pursuant to various CCPA exemptions. What you can do to manage your privacy. You have choices when it comes to managing the privacy of your personal information. Download a copy of your personal information. You may request a copy of your personal information by sending us a request here. Correct your personal information. You can edit and correct your personal information at any time by changing it directly in the services. Please note that if you have filed your taxes with a tax authority, you may need to contact the tax authority directly to make changes to your filing. Delete your personal information. You may request for us to delete your personal information by sending us a request here. Information retention. Information retention. Unless you specifically ask us to delete your personal information as explained in section, quote, your information rights and choices, quote, above, we retain your personal information as long as it is necessary to comply with our data retention policies and obligations. For example, we may maintain your personal information for our legal or regulatory compliance needs. Parentheses, e.g., maintaining records of electronic filings you have made with us. To exercise, establish, or defend legal claims and to protect against fraudulent or abusive activity on our service. There may be occasions where we are unable to fully delete or de-identify your information due to technical or other operational reasons. Where this is the case, we will take reasonable measures to secure, isolate your personal information from any further processing until such time as we are able to delete or de-identify it. Security of your personal information. We use physical, technical, and organizational safeguards. Security of your personal information. We use physical, technical, and organizational safeguards designed to protect your information. However, despite these controls, we cannot completely ensure or warrant the security of your information. You can find out more about how we protect your information and the steps you can take to help protect your information here. How to contact us. If you have questions or comments about this privacy statement or our practices, please contact us. Send us an email here, direct mail, quote, Intuit Incorporated, period, comma, attention, privacy, comma, 2800 East Commerce Center Place, comma, Tucson, Arizona, 85706. If you have an unresolved privacy or information use concern that we have not addressed satisfactorily, please contact our US-based third-party dispute resolution provider free of charge at feedback-form.trustee.com/watchdog/request. Changes to our privacy statements. From time to time, we may change or update our privacy statement. We reserve the right to make changes or updates at any time. If we make material changes to the way we process your personal information, we will notify you by posting a notice or on a community post, by sending you a notification, or by other means consistent with applicable law. You can see when this privacy statement was last updated by checking the last updated date displayed at the top of this privacy statement. Please review this privacy statement periodically to stay informed about how Intuit protects your privacy. Collection and use of children's personal information. Our services are not intended for or directed to children under the age of 13. We do not knowingly collect personal information from users under the age of 13. If you believe we may have information from a child under the age of 13, please contact us. CCPA, Notice of Personal Information. Learn more, PDF, close parentheses. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Please subscribe and click the notification bell so I can keep you updated as to everything that the federal government stimulus package has to offer. Talk soon.